Hey there everybody, how's it going? Nice to see you again. Thanks for coming out today. So, it's a bright, crisp, sunny day up here at the lake. I'm at, probably about 4,500, maybe 5,000 feet elevation. And it's a little breezy and it's 35 degrees, which is what, 1 degree Celsius? That's pretty accurate. And so, 1 or 2, something like that. It's pretty cold. So we got a little bit of a dip in the weather, but beautiful, beautiful conditions here. Testing some new gear to go with the K3 Mark III monochrome. And interestingly, going back and forth between the K1 and the K3 Mark III, there's things I actually like better about the K1. The information on the back screen, the ISO and the shutter speeds and all, just everything the way it's laid out is bigger. And on the K3 Mark III, everything was made a lot smaller and a lot finer. And that's fine, except that you know, when you get older and your eyesight isn't as good. I mean, 20 years ago, I would have loved the K3 Mark III's small, condensed information is wonderful. But with the K1, I can actually see the information without absolutely having to put my glasses on. And with the K3, like, that's not happening. So that's one thing I noticed straight away. Also, the ergonomics are a little bit different. The K1 I actually find, even though the K3 is more refined and more modern, I find that the interface on the K1 is, in a way, better thought out. Even though the K3 Mark III has a joystick, the K1 in live view seems a little bit easier to use. Yeah, it's weird. It's interesting how in, what is it, 2018, 19, 20, 21, 3 years, and I think the K1 came out before 2018. I think that was the K1 Mark II. So was it 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 5 years. It's interesting how in 5 years we really didn't go anywhere. And before anyone says, well, that's because it's Pentax, Pentax is on the leading edge of camera ergonomics. So Sony, Nikon, and Canon could learn a lot from Pentax. So just saying. And as far as mirrorless is concerned, like, I don't know. It's weird. Mirrorless, you know, everybody thinks mirrorless is better because it's newer. And what's interesting about that is I'm not really sure we went anywhere. I think mirrorless is just different. And the problem is we started over again, and so the camera companies are trying to figure out the best implementation, whereas the DSLR is a mature product. Like the Nikon D850 is probably one of the greatest DSLRs ever made. To a certain extent, you know, the K1 Mark II does things that the other cameras still can't do. So, like the low light and the nighttime stuff and stuff like that. So, anyway, I'm taking a few shots here, testing a few different things. I'm still trying to sort out my lens kit. The problem is I'm spoiled for choice. I've got too many overlapping lenses, and I need to pare it down to figure out what I actually want to have in my bag and what I actually want to shoot with. So that's what I'm doing today, is just a little bit of testing and getting used to stuff and seeing what I can get away with, etc., etc. So let's do that. So I solved my eyeglass problem. I got this, these Crokies is the brand name, and it's a instant on and off, and I always have my glasses right here, and it makes it much quicker to implement the glasses and makes life with the SLRs much easier. So that seems to be working quite well. All right, so my first composition is really tight on those trees in the background on the other far side. and I'm at about 150, 160 millimeters on the 70 to 210, and it's f8 at 1/200th of a second, ISO 200, standard monochrome. One of the things I love about the K3 Mark III is it gives you the date and the time on the back screen. That is so cool. It's there all the time on the info screen. Very, very, very cool. And so you always know what time it is and what day it is. I got the self timer going. Really, this monochrome K3 Mark III is really a spectacular camera. The only thing is, and I beat this to death in all my other videos so far, is it really is missing a tilt screen. Other than that, and the crop modes, but other than that, it's spectacular. The 43 on the K3 Mark III, 43 limited, works out to about a 60 something, so close enough to compare it to the 70 on the 77 on the K1. So far I'm really happy with the new cameras and the new system, and the monochrome is just spectacular. The only thing is the bag's getting a little heavy, but I've got extra lenses in there because I'm not quite sure which lenses I want to use and which lenses I don't, etc., etc. Still figuring it out. It's a high quality problem. I've got overlap, and I want to know which ones I want to bring. So it depends on which ones I use, right? Okay, well, thanks for coming out today. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and we'll see you out here. Have a great one. Bye.